Taylor here, and I'm so excited to be with you guys live again this Wednesday for our weekly live videos. I've got a couple cool sewing tips coming up in this video, and also the preparation list for the extra project that we're going to be doing a tutorial for next week. If you are a member of our sewing box shipments, you would have seen details about that in the printed postcard in this last month's shipment that you got. So before we get into that, I see I've got two of you guys watching. Hello. Feel free to leave any comments or questions below. I see there's four of you guys watching now. Hello, I'm so excited that you guys are here. So before we get into my two tips and the prep list for next Wednesday's project tutorial, I have a question for you guys. As you can see, I am not in my sewing room, mostly because I wanted to show off my really cool Christmas tree today. So my question for you all is, when do you decorate for Christmas? Are you one of those that decorates way before Thanksgiving? Do you wait until the day after Thanksgiving to decorate? Or do you wait until a little closer to Christmas? I'm super curious to hear, so leave those answers in the comments below. Personally, I do not listen to Christmas music or decorate for Christmas before Thanksgiving, but I'm all about that on Black Friday. So the day after, we got our tree up, I turned on the Christmas music, and there's Christmas decorations everywhere. I'm so excited. Okay, I'm super curious to see what you guys say. Hi, Janet. I'm so glad that you got your box, and I'm so glad that you love it. I was super excited about the stuff I sent out this month, actually, and I'm excited to do the extra project tutorial next month, and that will have, that will be able to, not next month. Wow, blonde moment. I meant next week. And that will be able to use some of those extra fleece fabrics that we sent in that box. Let's see. Hi, Martha. Good to see you. I see that Lisa's here. Hi, Lisa. Let's see. Oh, Lisa, you do the day after Thanksgiving? Welcome to the club of the day after Thanksgiving. That's how all the best people decorate. I see we've got another day after Thanksgiving. Okay, let's see. Okay, awesome. So that's all the comments I've got so far. So keep asking questions as we go through this live video. As I mentioned, I've got two sewing tricks for you guys, and then our list of what we will need to have done. Hold on, let me read a couple more of these comments here. Okay, and we'll go over the list of what we'll need for the tutorial next week, which I'm really excited about. But first, I love you guys so much, but I hope that you will think about supporting me a little bit. Right now, we sell our monthly subscription boxes on our website, and we also sell them on this website called Cratejoy. Some of you guys have signed up that way as well. Basically, it's like Etsy, but for subscription boxes. Well, that website has told us that they're not going to show our box to potential shoppers unless we can get some more reviews on that listing. So we want to add lots of more people to our sewing club, and I'm sure that you guys want to add more people to our sewing club as well. So we are doing a special thing for you guys if you want to help us out by leaving a review. If you leave a review between December 5th and 18th this year, 2021, we're going to put in a free extra pre-cut sewing project kit in your January box. So if you want a really easy way to get a free pre-cut sewing project kit sent to you in January, if you're a current subscriber, I'm going to leave the link to leave that review for us, and we'll go through all those and put an extra pre-cut sewing project in your January box. So that would be really helpful for us. I'm leaving that comment right now. So if you want to head to that link and leave us a review. That would be so helpful. It will help us grow our members in the Sewing Box Club, in our Facebook group, and just help us so much. Plus, I'm excited to give you guys some free sewing projects. Okay, so next I'm going to talk about what we need for um, the tutorial that we will be doing next week. So that's the 15th, Wednesday, December 15th. We'll do it at 1 p.m. Pacific time. That's now. And it's actually going to be a super cool tutorial for a project with fleece. Now, hear me out before you start judging this project. It's going to be no sew. And that's exciting because if you have family members that are coming over for Christmas, or if you have friends that you like to do Christmas craft nights with, I know I have a bunch of girlfriends that I like to do Christmas craft nights with. Or if you have kiddos or grandkids or kids of friends that come over and you want to get into the crafting, sewing spirit with them, this is an easy project to do without having to have a bunch of sewing machines or do it with somebody who knows their way around the sewing machine. And it's really fun and super useful. So it's going to be no sew. Next thing, don't judge on this until you see the end project. It's going to be a scarf, but it's not just going to be one of those silly scarves that you cut a strip of fleece and then bam, you have a scarf. Those are so plain Jane and boring, right? So what we're going to do is we're actually going to make a bubble scarf, and it's going to look like this, basically, on both sides and some fringe. I've never seen any scarf like this. I actually came up with the project a few years ago and I made one for my grandma. I tried to get it from her to show you guys on this video, but she said she wears it every day and so she couldn't let me borrow it back. So I'm just going to show you the pattern piece. So this is what the scarf is going to be made of. Oop, which sounds really weird. But basically you're going to cut this on a fold. So there will be like these butterfly shaped things that will kind of weave together and it'll make a bunch of bubbles for a scarf. It's so cool and they're super warm. So I'm really excited to make this with you guys next week. So in order to get this done, you can use the fleece that we sent you guys in your December box. If you haven't gotten your box yet, you definitely should by next Wednesday. And you're going to want a total of 1 yard of fleece. So 1 yard of fleece, we sent you guys about 1/4 of a yard. We're going to need to cut out about, let me see in my notes, we're going to need to cut about 16 of these out. And I'll show you how to do it next week, so don't get started cutting anything. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the 2 colors from the box, and that's going to be 1/4 of a yard. And then I'm going to buy 1/4 of a yard of 3 other colors so that I've got kind of like a rainbow looking scarf. So that's a good idea for your guys' first one as you come and make it with me next week. And then if you really love it and you want one that's just 2 colors or one that's just 1 color, then as you make more or make more with your friends and family, then you can buy the different kinds and do it that way, or even use them from your stash. I actually think that I have some fleece in my sewing room that I can use without having to go buy some more. And what's better than a stash buster, right? Okay, so you're going to want to get a total of 1 yard of fleece pulled together. The smallest cut that you're going to want is a quarter of a yard because that's how wide this is. This is 9 inches wide. So you're going to want to have at least 1/4 of each yard. Now, the next thing that you're going to want to do is print this pattern. So you're going to want to print this, and I'm going to go ahead and go to the comments here and put the link of that in there. So hold on while I type this. What did I call it? A bubble scarf. Duh. Get the bubble scarf pattern at. Okay, so this is going in the comments right now as it thinks and loads. Come on, internet. So you should see that link come up pretty soon. You'll be able to be taken to a digital downloadable pattern. Just click open. I think it actually opens it automatically, and then you can print it off. So you should print it in landscape view. You can always measure the little gray box that says 1 inch test square. Make sure that little box is 1 inch. And if it does measure 1 inch, then your piece is going to be the right size. If not, there's something going on with your scaling in your PDF print on your computer. And go ahead and let me know, and I'd love to help you do that if you need some help. But get this printed out. My favorite thing to do is print it out on cardstock. But if you don't have any cardstock, you can print it on just normal paper, and that will work fine. I'm so excited to get going with this with this project with you guys. And remember, that's going to be next week, Wednesday the 15th. Holy cow, can you believe that's already that far into Christmas season? What the heck? I feel like 2021 just started. And I'm going to let you guys in on a little secret. I still keep writing 2020 as the date on things. So I'm totally not ready for 2022. I haven't even caught up to 2021 yet. It's like I'm going to be pulling out my hair. Okay, so coming up, I've got a couple really cool sewing tips for you guys, one of which I think you'll find pretty hilarious, and one of which you'll find super, super useful. I learned it a couple years ago, and it's like the most useful thing that I have ever learned. However, first, we need to take some time to thank our sponsors. So, just in case you aren't a member of our cool monthly club yet, here is the link that you can go to get signed up. And if you sign up now, between now and the end of December, you'll get your first shipment between January 1st and January 4th. And P.S., the project that we're going to send in the January shipment is awesome. I love it so much. And I know you guys will too. Okay, are you ready for some really cool sewing tips? First, I want to share with you the really funny sewing tip that I learned. Have any of you guys ever sewn with faux fur? Go ahead and leave me a comment below. I'm super curious. Um, I'm talking about like the really thick fake fur that you can buy at Joann's or anywhere like that. It's like a knit fabric on the back and then has fur on the top. Well, every once in a while, I make blankets out of that stuff. They turn out awesome, but when you're working with it, that fur kind of just floofs everywhere, and then it sticks to the walls and all the other fabric, and I always end up having to vacuum it up, and it sucks. And it's just hanging around forever. So if any of you guys want to sew with that stuff, I have come up with the best solution. First of all, you are going to need um, a mask, like a cloth mask that we've all been wearing forever. That really helps you not breathe in those stupid fibers. Second of all, you definitely need some glasses because those fibers get on your eyelashes and then they get in your eyes and it's just everywhere. And actually, I'll show you guys what kind of glasses I used because they worked amazing. Hold on a second, let me grab them. Okay, so the glasses that I use are actually safety glasses that my boyfriend uses when working on cars. So they've got little padding all the way around and they fit right on your face and keep anything from like going in. This, I know I look dorky right now, but this was a lifesaver. This plus a mask, perfect. Now, the other thing that I figured out is instead of fighting and vacuuming all that hair up for weeks after I sew these things, I cleared off my porch and I sewed these outside. So here I'm going to show you a picture. There you can see it. And I put up my table and my sewing machine. Um, Now, this was awesome because all the mess stayed outside and the wind actually blew it away. But the other thing that I want you to see in this picture that I thought was ingenious was the red strap. So when you're sewing large blankets and stuff on a small sewing machine like this, right? That sewing machine kind of wiggles and moves all around the table. Well, I didn't want to use any of my nice sewing machines for this, plus they would be really hard to put outside. So I used that red ratchet strap and ratchet strapped the sewing machine down onto the table. I know that sounds crazy, but that thing did not move, and I sewed probably 50 blankets the other day. So those are some really cool, ingenious tricks that I learned. I think they're hilarious. I hope you find them funny too. And also, I think that they are very helpful. And they might be a little redneck, but they worked great. Okay, looking through these comments really quick. Awesome, Janet. Thank you so much for the review. I'm so excited to go read it and respond. And also, I'm excited to send you your free extra pre-cut kit next month. Okay, I've got one more sewing tip for you guys. This one's not really as funny as the last one. However, I really hope that you enjoyed that. This one has to do with hand sewing. Now, if you're anything like me, you would prefer to sew on the sewing machine because it's so much faster and it's not as tedious as sewing with a needle and thread. But I have learned something very awesome that has made hand sewing way less tedious and frustrating. So, if you have hand sewed ever, you know that typically let me see if you can see this. Can you see that? So normally, right, you have like this and then a short tail and then a long tail, and you tie a knot all the way here at the end, right? And then you have to sew a bunch of times, especially if you're putting on a button or something. So this tip will help you guys that got this December box because you know the project that was included has buttons to sew on. Instead of doing this, you know, you probably have heard that you can pull this all the way down, and instead of having a tail, a short tail, you can just tie both of those in a knot, and then you have the double strength, right? So every time you do a stitch, it's like 2 stitches. Okay, that's all good and handy. However, if instead of tying a knot at the bottom, you hold both of these edges together, I took my needle off. You hold both of these edges together, so I've got 2 edges. Let me see if I can show you this. See, I've got 2 edges there. I'm going to cut them even, and then I can stick them through the eye of this needle, both of them, and then fold it over again. Let me see if I can show you this. See how now I've got like this loop and the two edges at the bottom? Now I'm just going to pull all this tight and tie a knot through all four of those. So pretend that that loop at the bottom is just um, two more threads. You can even cut that in half, but tie a knot with all four of those. And then all of a sudden, every time you make a stitch, it's like you made 4 stitches. What? This is the best thing ever. And I use it all the time. It cuts my hand sewing time in half. It cuts my doing this in like a quarter. So it's amazing. And when you sew on a button, you can really do it in like 2 ups and downs, because 2 ups and downs is like 8 stitches and it holds on amazing. It's so cool. So I hope that that will help you. And I hope that you can geek out about it as much as I am. I love this sewing tip. And when I learned it a few years ago, I could not believe that I had not thought of it myself, right? So leave me a comment below. I'm super curious. Did you know this tip, or is this new to you? If you knew it before this, I am super jealous, and also you must be a genius sewer. So I'm super excited to hear what you guys think. Okay, let me check my comments here. Awesome, Janet. I'm glad that it wasn't just me that didn't know this trick. So, I hope that it's helpful. Lisa, you are a badass. You knew this trick already? Good for you. You should like teach one of these classes one of these days. Martha, I'm glad that it's not just me and Janet that this is new to. I hope that you guys can all use this trick. Even Lisa, who already knew it, I hope that that helps with your project this month. And again, just a reminder, if any of you guys tuned in after the start of this video, if you leave a review at the link that I put in the comments to this video, between December 5th and 18th, you can get a free extra pre-cut sewing project put into your January shipment. So the link is in the comments of this video. And if you're a current sewing club member that gets monthly Sew Up box shipments, then if you leave a review for us, we will put in a free extra pre-cut kit in your January box. And I'm so excited for that. And this really, really will help me out. I had so much fun with you guys. Looks like I have a couple more comments here. Thanks, Sharon. I'm glad you thought that was a good tip. And I'm so excited to see you guys next week. Remember to download that pattern for the project we're going to be doing next week and get about 1 yard of fleece put together so we can make that really cool bubble scarf. You seriously don't even understand how cool it is, so I'm excited to show you guys. Okay, so I will see you guys next Wednesday, and I'm super excited to see you. Bye.